My name is George Casprowitz. I was born in Hollywood, California. I have been painting most of my life. I was an architect. I worked in New York and Philadelphia, and I did my first exhibits around 1960, and I have been exhibiting ever since. The first hard edge work I ever saw was Frank Stella's, but I didn't know him personally. And Sidney Gooverman was an architect artist who I knew, and his energy and his sharing of his ideas and energy was inspiring to me. So those two, this is way back in the 60s, those two probably had the most influence on me. Stella's was geometric, it was flat canvas. I sort of got away from that. Gooverman had a little bit more shaping and some variety within each line. He never used geometrics. He was an architect, that's how I got to know him. But his work really didn't show that, but it played a lot with color, and that really influenced me. I've worked with very disciplined hard edge to start with, and now I've loosened up that hard edge. It still works the same sort of techniques. I have shaped canvases. I have had canvases go in and out and bulge, and I've had shaped perimeters. There is basically no rule of thumb that I have to do any one thing, so I try to keep lively and keep my interest as well as my viewers' interest in. Paintings are basically coming out of a hard edge, an architectural kind of limitation of what your pencil can do, that they surround a form or they create the form. And that's what I've always been interested in, is the geometric forms, and then color is just as important to me, and I've always considered myself a colorist. Success for me is getting a complete picture that I feel comfortable with, that people that see it can make their own interpretations, and I hopefully provide the impetus so that they can interpret, that there's a force within the limits of the canvas, but there's a force outside of it that's their own imagination. When I first approach a painting, I have limitations in what the shape is, what the material is, and what kinds of paints I have available to my use. These all go together into creating a complete canvas or a complete painting if it's on paper. I don't have a total preconception of what's going. As I'm working, certain colors will suddenly become a dominant theme, or just the occurrence of working on it, I want to get something more involved into it. So I have a general floor plan, but I don't necessarily have to maintain it if the painting does itself. Actually, even if I would mirror color or something while I'm painting, that might give me a whole new realm of thinking. I try to use all these experiences, these moments as things that give me a real answer to what I'm trying to achieve. My first advice would be, do things that are of interest to you. You don't have to do a Rembrandt. You don't have to be a Picasso or something like that. You want to have something that gives you interest, that draws your interest, and will build a clientele, people who are excited about what you're doing, not who you've seen and are trying to copycat. one of the things as an experienced artist is you have a lot to share, and you can help a lot of budding artists to get over handicaps of trying to make a masterpiece on every piece before they show it, kind of stuff. I think you want to encourage, you want to be encouraged, you want people to look at your work and say, this is by you, and it's not by Vincent van Gogh or something like that. And I think, although it's probably pretty nice if it was Vincent van Gogh, by the way, I think it's more important as an artist that you get excited about your own work, that you look forward to the next one. What is the role of art in society? I think it's to give pleasure to people, to challenge their mind, to challenge their creativity, to have pleasure in someone else's efforts. I think that's really important too. I think the arts are wide-ranging, and I think part is that you give them entertainment, intellectual entertainment, humor, whatever the image you want to put onto your canvas. You don't necessarily want to put a standing joke on it, but you want to give them some opportunity to explore their mind, explore their happiness, explore things, and maybe get over a depression or and share it with other people, not just the artists. I really like looking back on my work, but I don't necessarily like one better than another. I try to present each of them as complete packages, things I'm proud of, and I'm always in hopes that the next one will be better. And that's the driving force in my work. Is when I was an architect, I always wanted the next building to be better. When I am doing the painting, if it's watercolor, if it's oil, even if it's sculpture, because I did a lot of work. I haven't worked in sculpture the last couple of years, but I wanted each piece to have its own character, its own life, and hopefully it would bring real answers to other people for what they're looking for in a piece of art. No, I've been very lucky throughout my life to really enjoy it. I had a good time when I was working in the movies. I had a good time when I was an architect. I've had lived in New York and Philadelphia and Vancouver, and I've enjoyed working in all these communities, and I find artists everywhere, and that really makes me happy. And I hope that in some ways I have contributed to their comprehension of their own thing or their adventures, and just I like to be in that community, and I like to be a part of it. Okay, I chose White Rock because I had been living in Gastown, and I had a whole loft and was really very active. But I missed having a place to walk, and the noise of the city sort of was getting to me. And I came out and bought a beachfront house on the reserve out here. It was small. It was all I could afford, really, but it was very relieving to sort of leave the city behind me for a little bit. And it was always there for me to go back and do shows in Vancouver, but I didn't have to live in the city for a while, and that was really good. I've really enjoyed living in White Rock. I find the community is healthy. The people are energetic. I think there's a lot of people who have looked at my art and said, I could have done that when I was in grade school or something. But I think there are a lot of people that know that there's a lot in my work that is worthwhile being there. So I enjoy people watching my work and looking at it, and I am very thankful that I've been able to make a living at it.